going on, everyone? This is Big Russ for Redneck Reviews and Project Concept. And I had two, hopefully, your subscribers ask me some questions, Eddie and Martin. I'm not going to go into last names. You can see their comments. And Eddie, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name because I know how to butcher it. I'm pretty good when it comes to certain words and arrangements of letters, but that one stumped me. But we'll go with the easy question first, which was from Martin Riggs. And he asked me, is my Fiat 500 Abarth loud? Or especially when I'm accelerating? To me, it's not loud at all. I actually would prefer it to be louder. Um, but no, North American Fiat 500 Abarth, it's subjective on how loud it is. When it's cold outside and when you first fire it up, it is pretty obnoxious. Sorry. It's pretty obnoxiously loud, and it's not a bad thing to me. I live out in the country, so loud vehicles is kind of normal between farm equipment. I mean, look, that's my backyard. That is a field they haven't plowed yet. That's corn stalks from last season. Um, yeah, loud vehicles are nothing new to me. Um, in terms of how loud it actually is, it doesn't exceed any government mandated uh, noise decibel ratings for brand new vehicles. Yes, they do regulate how loud your car is from the manufacturer. It's They claim it's part of emissions, but it's not. They're like, hey, no, you want it quiet because people want quiet cars. But yeah, cold startup. If you live, if you have a garage, if you have like a brick wall near where you park your vehicle at, and you start it up, it's gonna be loud. I mean, I've been pulled over because of my exhaust. Um, no tickets because you can't ticket something from the factory. I got illegal window tint put on my car, and I've not been pulled over since. So yeah, whatever. Um, and then Eddie, he asked me a couple of questions actually, and you know what? It's funny. I say I don't mind you guys asking me questions, and I really don't. The more you ask, the more you learn. So the more you learn, the more you know, and knowledge is power. GI Joe. Um, he asked me how tall I was and how I fit in the car. I'm 6'2", about 280 to 300, depending on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing my steel-toed work boots and my full work uniform, which fire retardant, Carhartt, everything, it's pretty heavy. I think my uniform sans boots is about 4 or 5 pounds, which for a shirt and pants is pretty damn heavy. Uh, when your t-shirt weighs a few ounces. Um, but yeah, I fit in the car fine. I test drove a 2013 with a sunroof, and I fell in love with the car. Everything about the car was perfect except for this. Now, as you can see, I'm in my wife's car, and yeah, that's a lot of headroom. My car, I've got about 2 or 3 inches, which is fine. I can wear a helmet in there and still not hit my head on the roof. I've not tried it yet, but who knows? I might fucking try it. Um, yeah, I fit fine in the car. Now, anybody behind me? Hell no. Um, it fits with me, my wife. We can get our daughter in the back. My wife and daughter are about 5'6", 5'7" ish. I'm not exact. I don't, Hey, you're short. I love you. Get over it. Um, they both fit. Person in the back seat's not going to be too happy. If you're shorter than say 5'8", yeah, this could technically be like a family weekend fun car to like go to the park or whatever. But you're not going to get in it and drive 2 hours to the beach or whatever. Me and my wife will get in it, and like back in December, we drove it 4.5 hours up to Virginia, up into the mountain-ish area for a vacation, and on the highway, it did pretty good. It's got pretty good road manners for such a small car, which is shocking because my wife's Scion XB, which I'm sitting in right now, it doesn't have the greatest road manners when it comes to cruising on the highway. Don't let a truck pass you, and then you start doing this because, yeah, broadsides. Um, Damn, Eddie, you're stumping me, man. I'm trying to remember all these questions you asked me. Um, how long have I owned the car? Yeah, that was one I remember, and something about engines and transmissions. I've owned the car since September of 2015. It is a 2015 model. It was built in December of 14 as a 2015 model. The Fiat 500 for the North American market is built in Mexico. The engine is built in Detroit. So, yeah, it's a mutt from the manufacturer. It's an Italian car built in Mexico with an engine from Detroit. I've owned it a year and a half at this point, September 2015 to now March of 2017. If you're watching this in the future, I may still have it. I may not have it. Who knows? I said I was going to keep my SRT4 forever, and I traded it for the Abarth. So, yeah. Um, Engines and transmissions. There's only one engine option that's ever been available in the North American 500 Abarth. The European guys have a few different options due to insurance regulations over there. They have like 120 horsepower model, 140, 160, 180, and then there's like one that's over 200, which I hate you, Brits, you magnificent bastards with your sweet, sweet toys. But I wouldn't trade a thing for my 160 horsepower model, just because y'all have to go out and buy an exhaust to sound really good. Me, I don't have to. I just have ugly exhaust tips. Oh, and y'all have crazy tests and shit you got to do to keep your car on the road. I don't. I have one yearly inspection, and it's just a visual inspection to make sure I have no check engine light. My headlights work, my tail lights work, my turn signals work, and my windshield wipers are on the car, and my windshield's not busted. Boom. If I lived one county over, I'd have to have my car emission tested every year, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, there's two transmission options starting from 2015 onward. We lovingly refer to the second option as the Autobart, and it's just a 6-speed automatic transmission made it to the same 1.4. It does make a little less horsepower, but it makes up for it with a little more torque thanks to the gear ratio. The standard model and the from 2012 to 2012, 13, and 14 only had the 5-speed manual option. It's not even option; it's standard. The 5-speed manual, and I love the gearbox. I said I would never go back to a 5-speed after my 6-speed and my SRT, and I damn did. No, I say it's a problem, but it's not. It's a great transmission. It works great. The shifts could be a little better, but the aftermarket support for it is pretty strong. There's 2 or 3 shifter, either short shift kits or something for the linkage that connects to the transmission that relocates your stock cable to make it feel better. I don't know. I've been in one that had it, but I haven't driven it, if that makes sense. A buddy of mine has it in his car, and he likes it a lot. I've not driven it. I don't really, he's a little guy. If I get in his car, I gotta sit where his backseat would be, and yeah, no, we're not playing that game. Um, the mileage I've put, I want to say 25 somewhere. It's less than 30 in a year and a half on my car, and you know, outside of me running off the road and bending my rim, it's been the there has been one or two small issues pop up with the car. One was a electrical sensor failed on it, which you know it's not any fault to the car. It's an electrical sensor. That stuff happens. Um, I had a brand new truck back in 2010. I bought a Ram. I had it a week and got a recall notice. You know, for an O-ring in the master cylinder. So you know, I'll take a evap sensor going bad over another. Hey, your truck is unsafe to drive. Bring it to the dealership. Um, and my side skirts, the adhesive they used to attach the side skirts to the car wasn't the best, and they were starting to peel off. Not a big deal. Took it in. They fixed it. So you know, it's small stuff. And really, I could have fixed the side skirts with some double-sided tape, which is what they did. And I wouldn't, you know, it didn't cost me anything, so that's great on them. Fiat has a pretty good warranty when it comes to stuff. As long as your car's still stock, you know, you're not going to have any issues. Um, I think one big thing that I would recommend steering clear of. Um, I'm not, and it's certain companies. That's it. You know, you got to do your research before you buy anything for any car. Do your research on the dealership that you're thinking about buying it from. The service department at the dealership I bought mine at isn't the best in the world, but they're not the worst either. Um, like I said, when I bought my Ram in 2010, I had that recall. They wouldn't even give me a damn loaner vehicle while my truck was in the shop. Yeah, I just spent how much money with you? My truck is technically not supposed to be on the road, and you won't give me a vehicle to drive while you're fixing my truck? Yeah. Dealership I bought mine at, every time my car has gone in overnight or for, say, more than like an hour, hey, here you go. Here's some keys. Enjoy. Sign this paperwork saying anything you do to the car you're liable for. If you wreck it, yada, yada, yada. Stellar. I love it. They even have a courtesy shuttle say, you know, you're there around, you know, lunchtime to get something like last time I went in for my armrest. Like the material right here on my armrest had worn completely off. And I took it in and they were like, hey, yeah, we can take you to go get something to eat or whatever. Come back to the dealership when you're ready. I'm like, yeah, you know, that's cool. I'll just walk around for a little bit. It shouldn't take too long. And I was right. I was in and out in about 45 minutes. Um, the dealership you purchase from, which Fiat doesn't call them dealerships, they call them studios. And when you go in one, you'll notice the main reason why. It's not like your standard car dealership where you got this ho hum decor and flooring and yada yada yada. No, like uh, white marble floors imported from Italy at the dealership I bought mine at. Now they also happen to sell Alfa Romeo, so that was kind of a forethought. Hey, we're gonna get fancy up in here. Um, I'm actually pretty blessed to have somebody I grew up with work at the dealership in the service department, and he is the one. Anytime I have anything major come up, that I want to work on my car, just because you know we grew up together. I trust him. That and he owns a turbocharged LS swapped '66 Mustang coupe, which is pretty badass. Um, it's his drag car. Uh, so you know, gearheads tend to like other gearheads working on their stuff, especially when it's something out of my control to fix. Um, if you're interested in a 500 Abarth, If you know how to drive a manual transmission, go for it. You won't regret it. If you still want that fun little go-kart handling at a very reasonable price, go for the Autobart. New to new, it versus the Mini Cooper S, it's a steal. Yeah, the Cooper's faster, but damn, it's damn near 40 grand for a small car. 40 grand. What kind of crack are you smoking, BMW? Fiat's got it right. Hey, a fully loaded Cabrio automatic Abarth is like $34,000. That's bare bones Mustang GT money, Charger money, Challenger money. Or you could have this fun little go kart with a drop top for. But all that being said, guys, if you're interested in the car, go check them out. Do some research on them. There's plenty of forums, globally and region specific, Facebook groups that are specific. Do some research on the car. Ask owners about the car. We don't mind talking to you. I explain about my car to old people all the time, and it doesn't even bother me. So that being said, guys, I'm Big Russ for Redneck Reviews. Please like, subscribe, comment. Ask me some questions for another little Q&A video like this. This is not even a problem. My wife is making funny faces at me. Love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video, which may be mini truck related.